Hey guys, Estelle back here. It's, I don't know, midnight tonight and hot as hell in my apartment. Ironically, it's pretty cool outside, but yet my apartment does not have good airflow, so it's hot as balls in my apartment here. And so I decided to get up and do a video, hopefully to get myself ready for sleep. This is Radiation, as everybody can see, and I'm using the trusty old FAMAS setup with the Claymore there. So nothing new about that. I'm not going to really talk about the video too much. I'm going to talk about something that it kind of came to me the last couple of days. I was inspired by a friend of mine who said his brother has decided to join the Navy. And this is a kid who is, 22 or something like that, has been living at home since graduation, hasn't really ever held a job, been a mope. He has had some feelings of depression and things like that, and he took it upon himself to get that taken care of. And through that process, I'm assuming, he realized that his lifestyle needed to change. He needed to do something, and what that was is he decided to join the military. Obviously his family is a little bit nervous about that, obviously, and that's, rightfully so. These are troubled times still, even though the war in Iraq has settled down. Afghanistan is still going on, and then the whole Libya stuff. So he is not leaving until either, I think he's in what's called the DEP program, the Delayed Entry program for the Navy. And he is either leaving in July or December, or at least according to my friend. So I thought I would do a video about guys who are, that are about ready to go into the military. Have already signed the papers and just about ready to leave. I mean, this is the time of the season, I guess, where boot camps and basic trainings really get a high volume of numbers because school has let out, and they're in the summer months now, and platoons, especially Marines, can get about 80 people, 80 recruits strong. Where in my platoon, when I went in November, it was only about maybe 35, I think it was. So school's starting to get let out, and this is about the time people are starting to think about, oh my God, I got to get shipped out. And I want to talk about what the kind of things you have to do to prepare yourself for it, mentally, physically, to make sure that you have a successful time and the most quickest time through basic training, that you're not held back for whatever reason. Mindset-wise, you have to be able to just let things roll off your back, not take anything personally. And it's going to be hard sometimes, especially at basic training or boot camp, because of what's going on. Your life is that, and how can you not take things personally, especially when it comes down to the yelling stuff like that. You need to know that they're doing it for a purpose. In the Marine Corps, they'd yell at us even if we didn't do anything wrong. They had a time on their watch or a piece of paper that said at 1:30, smoke the entire platoon for 20 minutes. We can do those exercises and yell at them, and it's a whole motivational thing. That's why in boot camp and things like that, if one person has a letdown, the entire platoon has a letdown. It's all about being with each other and growing as one collective unit. I'm assuming this happens in all basics trainings at one point or another, to a certain degree. Boot camp is what it was all about for me in Marine Corps. So the kind of things you need to do is, like I said, you got to be able to get the mindset of just, I'm here to do my thing. I'm going to do my thing and go. Don't take anything personally. Try to, it sounds kind of bad, but stay underneath that radar. If you get yourself noticed by these drill instructors or drill sergeants, you're going to have a trouble time. Now, I was a fat ass in boot camp. I came in overweight, so I already had, from the get-go, day one, I was already on their radar. We're called a diet recruit, so I got a little extra special attention, if you know what I'm saying. So, but other than that, I made sure that I stayed under the radar, did what I was told, did it with speed and intensity. Even in all basic trainings, regardless of what branch you're in, it is all about speed and intensity. The drill instructor said this will be the most motivated time you'll ever have in the service. He's absolutely right. You care about your entire platoon the most. You care about how the platoon does the most. You care about your individual performance the most. Boot camp is where, or basic, that's where that shows the most. So be ready to do that. Take pride in what you're doing. Take pride in your platoon. But be able to differentiate between business and personal, because it's all business. Nothing about it is personal. You're not a lesser person if you're getting yelled at by somebody. That's the whole mental aspect that I remember from it, even though it's been a little bit dated. But that's how I remembered it. Now, physically, that's a big question I always get asked. I'm leaving for basic in a couple of months, or in about 6 months. What do I need to do to get ready to go for it? Basically, yes, strength is important. Running extremely fast is important, but the biggest thing about anything on all that is stamina. You have to be able to sustain it for a long time. Because like I said, the whole speed and intensity. Now, you could have your whole speed and intensity as long as you're putting on max effort and you're going as fast as you can. If it happens to be slow, this is the way it goes. But you're giving your max effort, and you're able to sustain it and do what is told, and do it at full effort at every time you're told to. That's what it's all about. If you can run 5 miles, but it takes you an hour and a half to do it, that's good. That's stamina. If you don't have to stop at all, that's fine. Go that way. Boot camp and basic will help you along with getting your speed up. If you can't run a mile, and running a fourth mile makes you winded, you might want to work on your cardio. Right now, I need to start working on my cardio. I couldn't go to boot camp right now with the way I am. I'm out of shape and stuff like that. So to be in shape, it necessarily does not mean strength. It necessarily doesn't mean top speed, running as fast as humanly possible. But as long as it's fast for you and you can sustain it for an extended period of time, that is what they're looking for. Like I said, speed and intensity is the name of the game. You can screw up doing it. They can really care less about the screw up, honestly. I mean, you'll get yelled about it, and of course, like that, make you feel like shit, but honestly, they don't care about that. As long as you're showing them speed and intensity at all times, that is all they care about. How well you can follow orders, how fast you can react to those orders. That is what they're looking for, and that will make yourself a good recruit or a good soldier. So that's what I take away from that. Now, what can you do to improve that sort of stuff? Like I said, cardio is your name of the game. Running. You're gonna be running around all the time there, sprinting all the time there. So what's the best way of getting you prepared for that? Running and sprinting, actually doing it. If you've got only a couple of weeks left before you leave, get yourself out there now. Start running a mile and a half. In boot camp, we had to run 3 miles for our physical test. I think that was the farthest any other branches. No other branch had to run that far in their physical tests. I think Army's a mile and a half. All right, let's start with that. Your goal is to get 3 miles. If you're going into Army and stuff like that, okay, go for a mile and a half, 2 miles. These kind of things. Just get out there and do it. That's what I'm trying to preach to you guys. So those are the kind. And it seems real basic, real and I'm telling you guys, it's like, duh, makes sense, right? That's it. That's all you need to know about, and that's all you need to get ready for. Boot camp basic training is more of mind games and a mental thing than physical. That's if you follow my logic. It's not about strength. It's not about the speed that you're going. It's about your speed and intensity when you have to react. But how well can you follow orders? How well can you take the heat? Because they're training you for combat. It's all about combat. They yell at you and things like that because it's combat. It's supposed to simulate combat. Alright guys, this video is pretty much done. I got a few more thoughts I can say, but I'll save that for another video. I hope you guys learned something with this, and I will catch you guys later. Take care.